Hi, this is Ronald Ashish. Today's session is about DNS. DNS stands for Domain Name System. The purpose of DNS is converting hostname to IP address to hostname. Suppose, let's say, for example, you have some 100 systems are there. So all the 100 systems, how it's going to maintain the domain IP address and computer names. It is also, you can say, example, telephone directory. Telephone directory, what we'll do, we'll keep the contact numbers and the person name. Likewise, in your network, if you have 1,000 systems, all the 1,000 systems name and IP address, computer name and IP address, nobody can remember. So it's difficult for you to remember the computer's names and IP address of each and every system. So what DNS is doing here, it's keeping the record of all the computer names and IP address from your network. Not only that, it converting host name to IP address to host name when it comes to a website. If you open a website called like google.com or yahoo.com, so it try to convert google.com with respect to IP address, yahoo.com with IP address. If you know the IP address of yahoo.com, instead of typing yahoo.com in address bar, you can just type instead of typing the website name, you can just type the IP address of the website. Then you can get access for the website because it's converting host name to IP address and IP address to host name. What is DNS? Domain name system. It is used to convert host name to IP address and IP to host. And managing public domains, actually websites names in internet. So as I said, the example, google.com. We can use google.com or yahoo.com. So for example now, so let me take one. So this is, say for example, this is a web server. This is web server. Now you're typing here www.google.com. So this is trying to find an IP address for this. As I mentioned, the example, the IP address is 192.168.105.230.4. So trying to convert this IP address 198.105.232.4. If it is working, then the website will access for you. If it is not connecting with its IP address, the message will come, cannot find the server. It will go to web server here. You'll be having Yahoo, you'll be having Gmail, you'll be having Rediff Mail, so Google, so a lot of stuff, Gmail. So every website, every website name will be having a separate IP address. You cannot have the same IP address for all the websites. So that's what, for Google having different IP address, for Yahoo is different IP address. It works with different IP address. So that's the job of DNS, converting your host name to IP address. So if you know the IP address of Google, just type this IP address in the address bar here, the top. You can just type HTTP, then use the IP address. You'll get access of Yahoo, Google. Simple. Because it's converting host to IP and IP to host. So that's how it's going to work. So next we'll discuss about DNS root structure. So how the root structure will work. The first will be dot. So from this is the main dot now. Then we got commercial is there. This is TLD, top level domains. Education, organization, network, government, If your .in, .network is there, so there are a lot of top level domains will be there. After, see, you're looking for commercial, looking for education, you're looking for organization, you're looking for network, government, info. What exactly top level domain you're looking for? So, for example, looking for commercial. In commercial, Yahoo is there, Google also available. So, looking for which website? So, see, you type like www.google.com. This is called fully qualified domain name, FQDN. The moment you type this fully qualified domain name, so it try to find the IP address whether it is working or not. For server 1 it will go, if it is not working then comes to server 2. Which IP is available, so with that IP address it will start working. It will go to first, it will go to root, then it will comes to commercial. From commercial it will go to Google, because you're typing here Google. From Google it will go to server 1. So what's the IP address of server 1? Server 1, say for example 198 some 232.0.4, some IP address. If this is working, then the website will open for you. If not, it'll try to work, check with the second server. Then finally you'll get a result. Google page will be open for you. This is how internally it will work. Externally, we are typing google.com, yahoo.com, anything, techminds.com, web server, any web servers, you will type the domain name, it will try to convert host name to IP address. This is the structure of DNS route actually. Next, let's move to types of DNS servers. Primary DNS server, secondary DNS server, cache DNS server. Actually, two are physically, you can install and configure. The third one is cache. It is a logical DNS server. It will just increase the performance of DNS server by clearing the cache memory. You cannot configure cache server. You can clear the cache memory so that the DNS server will perform fast. Let's talk about primary DNS server. So primary DNS server, it is a master DNS server which maintains the original copy of DNS, and it supports 7 types of DNS records. It contains the information of all the 7 types of DNS records. It is a read and write DNS server. It is a main DNS server. All the information is stored in primary DNS server only. The 7 records are, the first one, number 1, the record is host A record. Second is name server. Third is PTR, SOA, startup authority, alias record, SRV record, service record, MX record, mail exchange. So all these 7 records working in main DNS server, that is called primary DNS server. So first thing is a host A record. Host A record, it keeps the information of computer names. All your computer names information stored in host A record. Without host A record, you cannot have the computer name information in DNS server. Next is name server. Name server, it maintains FQDN, fully qualified domain name. Just the earlier slide we discussed about FQDN, fully qualified domain name. Example, as I mentioned, www.google.com. So this website is maintained the fully this called fully qualified domain name. Then PTR, pointer record. Pointer record, it keeps information of IP address. Host record maintaining computer names, and PTR maintains information of IP address. Start of authority. Start of authority, which maintains the update between client and server. It is also maintains time sync. Updates like how many clients has been added in the network. Any updates, that's what start of authority is doing. Time synchronization between server and client. So that job is done through start of authority. Next one is alias record. Alias record, it is used for creating website name. For example, you can see www dot the domain name. So you say, for example, domain name is tech.com. So this is called alias record. You can use www or you can use http. Both can be used. And next one is SRV, service record. It is used in ADS. We'll discuss more about ADS in the future sessions. Last one is MX record. MX record, it is used for exchange server, like mail server for sending and receiving the mails. So all these 7 records are working properly in primary DNS server, not in secondary. Only in primary DNS server all these records are operating properly. Next we'll see secondary DNS server. Secondary DNS server. It is a backup of primary DNS server and it supports load balancing and fault tolerance. It is a read-only DNS server. Secondary DNS server is a backup of primary DNS server. Whatever information is available in primary, it will transfer the information to secondary. It's like meta replication copy. Meta replication copy in the secondary DNS server. Cache DNS server. Cache DNS server, it is a logical DNS and it increases the performance of DNS by clearing the cache memory. It is logical, it is not physical. The command to clear the cache memory in command prompt ipconfig flush DNS. When you use the command ipconfig flush DNS, it will clear your cache memory. After doing this, the system, the DNS server, will start performing fast. And also troubleshooting part. If you are not able to find the records of name server or PTR, alias, so this command is handy for you to use this command. If you use this command, then it will troubleshoot the problem of name server, alias record using this command. Next is types of zones. So before that, what is a zone? What is a zone? Zone is a text file. It is a text file which contains the information of host name and IP address. Zone is a text file which contains the information of host name and IP address. Again, next, types of zones. They are divided into two zones. One is forward lookup zone Another one is reverse lookup zone. Forward lookup zone. It converts host name to IP address. Example, www.google.com. So it's going to convert with this IP address. So it's converting host name to IP address. And in reverse lookup zone, it converts IP address to host name. You can see here. Converting IP address to host name. Earlier in forward lookup zone, it was converting host name to IP address. Now in reverse, converting IP address to host name. So that is the job of reverse lookup zone. We have to create a forward lookup zone, which is mandatory. Reverse lookup zone. If you want to maintain an IP address for that host, then you have to create a reverse lookup zone. Next one is zone subdivisions. There are 4 divisions for the zone. First one is primary zone, which is used for creating primary DNS server. Secondary zone, again it is used to create secondary zone. Now comes to stub zone. Stub zone and Active Directory integrated zone. Stub zone, it maintains 3 records separately. It maintains 3 types of DNS records like host record, name server, start of authority. But it is not an authoritative server. Of course, it's maintaining 3 records: host A record, name server record, and start of authority. But it is not authoritative DNS server. It is keeping some information, not everything. Stub zone features is coming from 2003 server onwards. Before that, there was no stub zone. Even now, if you want, you can use stub zone, or depends upon the situation. Whether you're having only secondary DNS, only one server is there, then you can go for stub zone. But most of the companies, they prefer to have one primary and multiple secondary zones. Next one is, the last one is Active Directory integrated zone. This is used in domain controller, and it supports secure update and multi-replications. You can use it for secure updates, and only in domain controller you can use this one, not only in DNS. DNS should be installed a domain controller, or else you cannot configure it. It's good for secure updates plus multi-replication. Replication is very fast. Normally, if you have primary DNS server, the replication will be a bit slow. When you change from primary to secondary, primary to Active Directory integrated zone, then the moment you change, it will support secure updates plus it supports multi-replication. We'll be seeing this one in ADS class. Once we start the Active Directory, that time I will show you how to configure Active Directory integrated zone. So which supports again secure updates. So this is about the DNS theory part. In the next video, we'll be discussing about installing and configuration of DNS server. How to install a DNS server and how to configure. And in this session, we discussed about DNS installation and DNS theory part only we covered. Installation will be seeing in the next video. And I'll just give you some questions. Let me ask you some questions, like a kind of quiz. So which type of DNS server supports 7 records? Question number 2. SRV records used in Which server? What is the use of alias record? FQDN stands for what? Then, how many types of zones are there? Alright, so just go to the slides so you can find the answers. And thanks for the watching.